Good morning. It is 8 o'clock a.m. on Thursday, August 20th, 2020. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I've actually been up for a little while. I shifted things around. My schedule has moved a bit. Um, that's fine. This is 5 more minutes. I literally, just as I was sitting down to record this, got a text that I had been going into the office to work this week, but then there was a delay where it seemed like we weren't going to be able to get done the things that I was wanting to do, and so it didn't make any sense to need to be at the office for that. But apparently that's changed, so I am able to go back into the office now, which just means that I have to actually, take a shower and get dressed and stuff. I've got a little dog, though, that I need to consult with the vet. I'm not concerned that this is an urgent thing, but he's been a very sneezy little boy for a couple of days where I've just kind of noticed, it sort of came on slow. It was just sneezing sometimes, but it seems like it's a lot now. There's not really much in the way of any other symptoms or anything. Like, he's still got plenty of appetite. He ran himself ragged at the dog park yesterday in terms of just plenty of energy there. He's a little clingy this morning, just a little, but yeah. So I'm not worried that anything's really wrong. I think he's just got a doggy cold because that can happen. Possibly even happen because he's playing with all the other dogs at the dog park. But since it's been a couple of days and it's progressing in that direction rather than the other way, I'm probably going to just consult the vet, you know, just as a check. But in the meantime, I still have to actually, take a shower and get ready to go to work. I played a little bit of Microsoft Flight Simulator yesterday, and so fortunately, I've got since I rebuilt my computer pretty recently, um, the only thing on it that would really, like, my graphics card is a really good one from a couple of years ago. So that one could still get upgraded, but otherwise everything else is pretty, should be good to go to run it. And so far it seems like it runs pretty well. I played through the initial flight training sessions, and what I will say is that although I was able to get through them, there was a couple that I had to do more than once, but mostly I was able to get through them relatively easily. But I will say that something I've seen commented on a little bit is that just the actual amount of help that they give you in terms of here's how to interpret these dials, and here's what this means, and here's what you do next, and here's what you do in this circumstance is laughably light. Because there'll be, here's this, we're going to learn a traffic pattern where you just basically go up and you take off and then fly in a little circle and then you land again. And it has you go through that pattern, and it's guiding you through various bits where it's saying, okay, and now, accelerate the throttle to 2100 RPM. And you're like, okay, but it doesn't ever tell you anything like, here's why you do that and other circumstances in which you might want to do that. Okay. And it really only teaches you to fly the one plane, so I have no idea if any of the other planes are any different. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm learning, and one of the things that I read in a Polygon article, which sounds right to me, which is to say that that's almost certainly going to be supplemented by user content. People write tutorials and explaining videos and all of that sort of thing. So I'm not too worried about learning a little bit more, but I am enjoying it. It's interesting because there are definitely big chunks of it where it's not super exciting or anything. You're just okay, now fly straight for 6 minutes, and there's a sense in which you could say, well, isn't that boring? And The answer is kind of no, at least so far, because there are a lot of games where I'll put on like a podcast or something to listen to while I, run around and do like, collectible stuff or, side quests where I don't need to really listen to the dialogue. I've definitely been doing that with Witcher 3, for example. But in this case, it would seem almost like that's a perfect opportunity to put on a podcast and be listening to that, while all I have to do is make minor corrections here and there. But I don't know, I kind of haven't been doing that. Like, I don't know. I like it so far. I think I might stream some of that. Have to figure out. Maybe not tonight, but tomorrow. Might do a little bit of a Microsoft Flight Simulator stream. All right, so I've got to go ahead and get to work, but I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.